All right. So tonight, just before I go to bed, I figured I'd want to reach out to my friend Steve Singh, also the CEO of Canbud. And a few weeks ago, Steve, I announced to my community that I was going to make an investment in your company. I'm not allowed to give stock recommendations or give tips or anything like that, but I can definitely tell people what I'm doing personally. So first of all, congrats on closing your financing. I know the market was kind of choppy when you were doing that.
Yeah, thank you, Karl.
And I always ask people sort of, what's the why, and you're a pretty successful investor. A lot of people know you on Bay Street, well known. What's the why for getting involved in this company?
One of the reasons why I got involved with CBDX is because initially we had built a fantastic revenue model with CBD as a base. As you know, that was 2 years ago, and the market sort of got a little choppy. Things didn't go the way they were supposed to with CBD. There was a glut in the marketplace, too much product. Prices went down considerably, so it became a bit more of a challenging type business. So, instead of just coming right out of CBD, what I did was I re-engineered the business model into a tri-vertical model. Tri-vertical being CBD, functional mushrooms, psychedelics, and plant-based protein. So by doing this, we basically positioned ourselves in 3 hot health and wellness sectors, and that's where Canbud is today.
Yeah, you're definitely positioned in the right place. I remember you had mentioned this to me, I think in the summer, and I was just busy doing other things. And I took some time to reflect on where I wanted to plant more seeds in my portfolio. And I started thinking about sectors and the future and where we're headed. And, 2 of those in particular really hit home with me, which is plant-based foods, I think, and CBD and psychedelics, right? So your company definitely covers all those things, which I like. Where are you at now with the company? Would you say it's sort of super ground floor still? You're sitting around 20 million market cap after your close today.
Yeah, so Karl, one of the reasons why I was a little hesitant to do interviews when we first went public 4.5 months ago is because I wanted to build something first before I started talking. I'm from the old school, right, where I visualize and I crystallize. I know a lot of other companies, what they do is fantasize and hypothesize. I do not ascribe to that methodology at all. So right now, we're pretty close to commercialization on our plant-based business. I think the market's really going to like what we're doing there. We're also pretty close in commercializing our CBD side of the business. Robert Chandra, our COO, is working very hard at that. We're working on product right now, e-commerce. So that side is going well. And as far as the psychedelics and functional mushroom side goes, well, we acquired the company in Jamaica to get that footprint. One of the advantages of doing business in Jamaica is that we're not under any type of hard regulatory or compliance type scenario. Jamaica is pretty laissez-faire about psychedelics. As a matter of fact, there are a number of retreats in Jamaica where people can test out different forms of psychedelics, ranging from psilocybin to ibogaine and all the other ones. So I think it puts us in an advantage there for research and development because we're not under any strict regulatory or compliance types issues. So by virtue of that, some of the information that we're going to gather there is going to be valuable to partners that we're going to be cultivating, partnerships that we're going to be cultivating in order to share information. We're also looking at exportation of that, of the psychedelics, or in this particular case, psilocybin for potentially earning revenue, or also creating more partnerships globally with it. As far as the functional mushroom side goes, we're looking at immune support type products, Shaga, lion's mane, to name just a couple. That's the key. That's all part of our health and wellness business model.
Do you want to touch on today's news release? and why it's kind of significant for your story?
Yeah, so today's news release is good because what it'll allow us to do is once we have our mushroom science, so to speak, we'll be able to export that into Canada to this particular lab for testing, R&D, and also potentially working on formulations.
Okay. Dare I ask about sort of timelines and expectations, because it's sometimes you get your sights set on things and not everything goes as planned. Plus, you're dealing with Health Canada as well. So, is there a sort of a timeline on when you think these licenses can come to fruition?
Well, psychedelics is a whole different world, right? That's why we have 3 different verticals. So
Yeah.
we're already pretty well set up with the CBD model. We have our license with Health Canada for that. It's a medical license, so we'll be working with clinics. We're positioned in that. We announced a partnership, an LOI for a partnership with Hemsana, which is an extraction company. As far as the plant-based protein goes, we don't need any Health Canada approvals there. We're basically working on formulating product right now, building out SKUs, and building a distribution model.
Awesome. I know one of the things that you and I both don't like are lifestyle CEOs. Can you talk about sort of how you're positioning yourself in this company and sort of what your ownership is?
Yeah, so that's one of the issues I have too. Being an investor who's cut big checks in the companies, I've watched CEOs, blow a lot of money. Whether it's in the form of expensive entertainment, too much traveling or whatever. We're not doing anything like that. Everything's pretty lean. As a matter of fact, before this private placement, I actually owned 11.3 million shares, which gave me basically a 31% ownership in the company.
And if you include all of the management, how much of the float do they own?
Before the PP, it was 38%.
And then they got diluted down.
And then we got diluted by the PP.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I want to say thank you very much for taking the time today. And I look forward to sort of sharing the journey with my audience and community as you build out the story. I wish you nothing but the best, and I'm sure you're going to execute on it.
Yeah, well, Karl, you know what? I'm actually very excited because we're working on so many things right now. I think the market's going to be surprised. The news pipe is really full. So there's probably going to be about maybe 3-4 news releases coming out quickly. And then over time, of course, there's going to be a few more. But I think the market will be surprised with what we're doing. We're focused on generating revenue and building a real business. I really don't want to come back to the market for money unless there's an express purpose or there's some type of, let's just say, any type of transformational occurrence.
Right.
That would be the only reason why I would come back into the market.
Okay. Is that sort of why you structured the warrant the way you did with the acceleration clause?
Yeah, that's precisely what I did. So my intent is to really get this company up to a valuation that's a lot more respectable. If you look at our peer companies that are out there in just the plant-based side, most are trading higher than us. If you look at the psychedelics and functional mushroom side, a lot are trading higher than us. So when you add up the sum of the parts, Canbud Distribution is probably trading at a 60-70% discount to market. I intend to close that gap, obviously for the benefit of my shareholders. I saw the smile on your face. And Karl, I've been in this business a long time, right? I know that in this game, CEOs don't sell shares in their companies that they're CEOs of, right? So my goal really is to create a showcase opportunity and create value for the shareholders.
Well, you understand how to market a story. So do you intend on marketing the story pretty hard as you build it out?
This story will be marketed very hard, but more importantly, as I said before, I'm a visualization guy that crystallizes. So what you're going to get out of me is you're going to get serious actions and you're going to get serious reactions.
I don't know. I think that's the best spot to leave it right there, Steve.
Okay, Carl.
All right. Well, you have yourself a good evening and enjoy the next cigar.
Yeah, let's catch up again in about a week and a half, because there's a lot of moving pieces right now.
All right. Sounds good, my friend.
Yeah, thanks, Carl.
Take care. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Audio Jungle.